Hi everyone, welcome to Good Night Meditation. Today we are going to talk about creating headspace. As we approach towards the evening time, we find ourselves that we are actually moving to a more slow paced, generally life generally, and we in fact expect the same thing in to happen in our heads also, or in our minds as well. But what really happens, as we notice most of the time, very often, that the headspace is actually very cluttered, and instead of moving into that silent space and slow space, the mind gets in fact overactive or hyperactive, and we start to think a lot of things which we were not really aware of even in during the day, because we were doing things. But as we go towards physically a more relaxed pace, and also a more sort of slow movements physically, the mind we see is cluttered. And so now, to really create that headspace where we are able to remove the clutter and fill them with thoughts which give us peace and calm, and which give us sort of power and even happiness, right? Which will actually lead us to a good sleep during the night. That would be very beneficial for us. So, how do we create that headspace is what we are going to see in our meditation now. The method is pretty simple. It is just about, uh, you know, um, reducing or putting a full stop on the thoughts which are currently occupying our headspace. And those are thoughts from the outer world, uh, the ones that are temporary in nature, and everything related to the world of matter is what we are thinking about. We are thinking about, for example, this character Kanupriya, the body, the props that you see around here. We're thinking about other people's behaviors. We're thinking about what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future, and so on and so forth. So there are so many things, but everything that we are currently thinking about is probably, most likely, that it is related to something in the physical world, the world of matter. So, to create that headspace, to put a full stop to these thoughts very gently, and then once that headspace is created, then we can fill those thoughts with the true identity thoughts, or the thoughts of this tiny point of light, the inner being. And those thoughts are spiritual thoughts, which actually elevate our consciousness and which bring us closer to our higher self. And those thoughts are very empowering. They calm us down, they bring us peace, they bring us happiness, and they are extremely beautiful thoughts to have. So let us experiment with that for a few minutes. And like always, we choose a comfortable position. Choose any sitting posture that is comfortable for you. A posture in which you can keep your back upright and the mind alert. Consciously telling the body to relax, every muscle in the body to relax. As we take a deep breath in, we breathe out all the tension in each cell of the body. gently steering the mind inwards. We connect with that point of light. And that point of light starts to observe the thoughts. Thoughts that are going on in this head. We notice that thoughts from the day or yesterday, few days back, even years back, we see that those thoughts are emerging. Even thoughts about the future, anticipatory thoughts, those also are occupying the headspace. And all those thoughts are related to Kanupriya in my case. So we just observe these thoughts with an aim to withdraw from these. Withdrawing just means that we, as if, put a full stop. Don't give them any further energy, just for some time, just for 10 minutes. We can come back to all these thoughts after 10 minutes. Just gently putting a full stop to these thoughts and merging the thoughts by creating this benevolent headspace of the point of light. And we see the point of light as being independent, separate from the world of matter. This point of light who belongs to a world beyond the non-physical world. A world that is silent. Constantly silent. No noise from the story world. The world of the character Kanupriya is the story world. And that is the physical world. We see the separation of the invisible, subtle, silent world, where this point of light belongs. And give it a lot of space in the head. The vastness of the spiritual home as it fills the head. The light disperses in this head. And as this light makes way into the head, we see that there is a clarity that comes in along with this. clarity with which we can see how this tiny point is disassociated with the character Kanupriya in my case, with the whole story and the physical world. Just seeing the separation. Brings about a certain calmness in the headspace. The world beyond is a world where there is constant calm. The world is changeless. There is nothing that ever changes in this world. The light, golden red light, is always and forever golden red light. No change. The silence, away from noise, that also is constant. And this changelessness brings about a great amount of security. We can depend on something that is permanent, doesn't change at all. Brings about a sense of safety. And that safety and security brings out the best in us. The best thoughts for the self, best thoughts for others. Headspace as if starts to operate at its best. Such a fortune for us to be able to create such a headspace. Where we can connect to the higher self. And this dimension, this headspace is available for us to access always. The only thing we need to do is to choose this option of creating this headspace in a state where there is no push or pull from the story world, and especially the character from Kanupriya. We just stay there for as long as we want. And so for the rest of the evening, we aim to keep this headspace that we just created. And as we see ourselves slipping out of this space, we gently bring back the mind into this elevated headspace. Shanti and have a very good evening. See you all again very soon.